Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Eric Cave. I am the Director of Next Gen Ministries for the Pacific Northwest Conference, and today I get to introduce you to an old friend of mine, but he's new to our conference. His name is Andrew Kruz, and he is the new Director of Youth Ministry at Praise Covenant Church. Andrew, I'm so excited to have you here serving in one of our Pacific Northwest Conference churches and for the opportunity to introduce you to everybody today. So take a moment, introduce yourself by telling us a bit about your ministry and personal background.
Yeah, well, thanks, Eric. Yeah, glad to share. I'm been Pacific Northwest born and raised my whole life. Lived in Washington and Oregon, and I yeah grew up just about 45 minutes from Tacoma in Port Orchard, and went to school. Went to college at Multnomah University and seminary also at Multnomah as well in Portland, and that's where you and I met, like
Mhm.
15 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
goes by
but
fast, huh? Yeah.
yeah, time flies when you're having fun. And through that, I had always felt like God was calling me to work in youth ministry, and and I really believed that that would be in a church. But for a long time after I graduated seminary, I actually worked for Youth for Christ, and I worked primarily with inner city kids, doing urban ministry and growing volunteer teams and doing evangelism in neighborhoods and communities, for a couple years in Portland, and then a couple years up here in Tacoma. And the beauty of all that is it's all in connection with the local church. And so I've really grown. God's grown my passion for connecting young people to the local church where they'll have a lifelong journey with Jesus. And in between all my studying and working, I got married 2015 to my wife Rachel, and we have two kids, Brendan and Allison. And Brendan's 6, and Allison just turned 4 this last week. And so we're living up here in the Tacoma area, and just really love it. Love the church that we're at. We've been here since October, and it's great to be back in an area where I'm familiar with, the places, and getting to know a lot of new people. And so, really love doing that. And just youth ministry, working with families is really something that God's given me a lot of opportunities to do, and I'm excited to keep doing them. So that's a little bit about me and kind of my background.
That's great. You've already kind of mentioned what you're doing now at Praise. Anything else you want to add to that? Like, what are you passionate about in ministry
Yeah.
right now?
Well, something that I'm really passionate about is really concerning youth mental health. And one of the things that God's kind of led me to do is to work alongside other ministries here in Tacoma, to actually have a youth mental health conference in May that we're putting
Wow.
on at our church. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And just that, hoping that it will inspire not only conversation but also action with youth and young adults and parents who are all a part of our communities. And so I'm just really excited to be kind of leading that, and it's been great to have the support of my church, and just the leadership here. So yeah, I'm really passionate about that. And of course, doing all the other fun youth activities that we do throughout the year, just kind of building a rhythm, as we get to know students and their families here at Praise. So
Yeah, great. Well, as details for that conference emerge, let me know, and we will pass it on to all of our family here in the conference.
definitely.
Yeah. So, how can we be praying for you?
Well, I think, one way you could be praying for me is actually I have another job. I do a full-time job in a healthcare company, and of course working here at the church. And so just, for balance, to be able to really do both things well, and to have the time for rest and family, in between, because it can get complicated sometimes. Fortunately, my other job is somewhat remote, but there's just days where it's long and tiring. But the second thing is, just really praying for um, the teenagers that live in this area of Tacoma that we're in, because we have some apartment complexes that are like right next to our church. And God's just given me a vision for what ministry could look like with students there over the summer as it gets warmer, and hopefully kids will be out and around, because we have a basketball hoop at our in our
Mhm.
church parking lot. And I am a pretty big fan of utilizing sports and food to engage kids with relationship and Jesus. So yeah, just for opportunities that might be coming up through that. So those would be two great areas to be praying for.
No, thanks for sharing that, Andrew. I'll be praying for you. I encourage all of our viewers to take a moment to pray for you right now, and
Thank
maybe
you.
they pray for you in the coming days as well. Well, it's our tradition to ask you some kind of random, strange questions. These are just quick answers to get to know you a little bit better. You pick some fun ones. So let's start with this one. What is the weirdest job you've ever had?
I think the weirdest job that I've ever had was uh was actually working in a food truck this last summer.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so yeah, it was weird because I it was not what I expected. It was a lot hotter and a lot quicker, like fast, like
Mm,
faster than I
mhm,
expected it would be. So
mhm.
it was kind of a weird thing because I never envisioned myself doing that. But
Yeah.
as a Portlander, I loved it. It was fun.
What kind of food was it?
It was a meatball truck. Yeah.
Meatball, meatball
Yeah.
truck. Awesome. Okay, next question. What would you do, like for a career, if you weren't doing this?
I think I would want to be a comedian.
Oh,
Um,
nice
I
answer.
I love, just the energy of crowds and feeding off of people's feedback and stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be
Awesome.
fun.
Okay, so what are your three most overused words or phrases?
Well, I think probably people would say I use the word totally a lot. Yeah, totally,
Yeah.
probably the other one would be kind of like, and I just describe something, kind of like this. And then probably another one that I overuse is sorry. I say sorry a lot. So, I'm
Okay.
working on that, but yeah.
Okay. All right. How do you define success? That's the next question.
Well, I think that success really is becoming more like Jesus, and success is, when we become more like Jesus, pointing other people to Him. So that'd be
That's
my
a, yeah,
like
that's a really good.
personal definition of success.
Good. Okay, last one. We saved the best for last. Tell us something that might surprise us about you.
I've done an awful lot of traveling,
Hmm.
and I've been to six countries, and mostly on mission trips and things like that. And then I think I've been to about 10 different states in the United States. So
Wow.
maybe not as much traveling as some people, but I just love any opportunity to go and experience culture, experience a new place, and just kind of just do fun things. So the most recent trip that I went on, like long trip I went on this last summer, I was in Mongolia, South Korea, and Japan. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, welcome to the conference. Really glad you're here. Really glad to get to work alongside of you, and really can't wait to see what God does through you at Praise Covenant.
Well, thanks. And I'm excited to meet more people and get to know everyone else in the conference better too. Have a great day.